Hi, this is Ambika, Assistant Professor, Department of AIML. We are going to discuss about advanced requirements model in that user and system requirements. Advanced requirement model. So requirement engineering is nothing but a process of discovering, analyzing, documenting and validating what a system should do. So the advanced requirement model it mainly focuses on structuring the requirements at multiple abstraction levels, handling the complexity in case of large, critical as well as socio-technical systems, and also it ensures the correctness, completeness as well as the traceability. Why we are going for the advanced requirement model? Because the traditional requirement list they are insufficient for safety critical systems, large distributed systems, and also AI enabled and dependable systems. Classification of requirements. So we are classifying the requirements into functional requirements and non-functional requirements. Functional requirements. So it defines what the system should do. Mainly it describes the system services, reactions as well as the behavior. Example, the system should authenticate the users using multi-factor authentication. Next is non-functional requirements. It defines how well the system performs, like constraints on the system quality and operation. So it mainly based on the types of performance, security, reliability, availability, safety as well as usability. Example, the uptime of the system should be at least 99.9%. Uptime is nothing but the availability of the system. User requirements. So user requirements are nothing but they describe the system from the user perspective. They are written in natural language. Characteristics of the user requirements. They are high level, informal, understandable by non-technical stakeholders, and also it focuses on the user goals. So how that they can be represented using the techniques like natural language systems, use cases, as well as user stories. Here, the user stories they focus on the user goals like who, what, and why, rather than focusing on the technical specification. User stories they have three C's: C for card, conversation, and confirmation. Card is nothing but the written statement. Conversation is nothing but discussing about the details. Confirmation is nothing but the acceptance. So, example of the user requirement is nothing but the user should be able to view their transaction history. Next is system requirements. So the system requirements, it provides a detailed and precise description of the functioning of the system as well as the constraints of the system. So the characteristics of the system requirements are technical, structured, they are used by the developers and testers, and also it mainly it forms as a basis of system design and implementation. SRS document it includes functional requirements, non-functional requirements, system constraints, and also the interface specification, which defines the rules, protocols, and some formats. So SRS nothing but the software requirement specification. It should be correct, complete, consistent, verifiable, and also traceable. Next is requirements modeling techniques. So the requirements modeling techniques includes scenario-based modeling, class-oriented modeling, flow-oriented modeling, behavioral modeling, and data modeling. Scenario-based modeling, it mainly defines the system functionality. That is using the use case diagrams and also the user stories so that they can outline the interactions between them. Next is class-oriented modeling. So it mainly identifies the object-oriented classes, what are their attributes, their relationships like that, so that they can define the structure of the system. Next is flow-oriented modeling. Here it represents how the data they are transferred through the system, like using data flow diagram. Next is behavioral modeling. So it describes how the system they act in response to the external events, like using the state diagrams and as well as sequence diagrams. Next one is data modeling. Here it is done using the entity relationship diagrams to visualize the data objects and also the relationships between the data objects. Requirements for critical systems. So the critical systems require advanced modeling due to their higher risk. So types of critical system involves safety critical system, example medical aviation system, mission critical systems like space systems, business critical systems like banking system. So the special requirements for these critical systems are safety requirements, reliability constraints, fail-safe behavior, and also regularity compliance. Next is traceability and requirement model. So the traceability plays an important role. It ensures the links between user requirements, system requirements, design as well as test cases. So the benefits of this one is we can analyze the impacts, we can focus on the change management, verification as well as validation. So if you consider the requirements traceability matrix, so it is nothing but a tool. It maps the user requirement to the test cases so that they can ensure whether all the user requirements they are tested or not. Next is some common problems you are going to face, like there may be ambiguity, incompleteness, inconsistency, and also the changing of the requirements and also the stakeholder complaints. So, like we can see about the mitigation techniques that we follow, like reviews, prototyping, validation workshops, and also the continuous stakeholder involvement. These are some mitigation techniques. Next is relationship between the dependability and security. So the advanced requirements model, they ensures the reliability, security as well as safety. So the reliability can be achieved through the precise system requirements. Security can be achieved through the explicit security constraints, and safety it is achieved through the hazard related requirements. Thank you.